Hey everybody, it's me Roger back with some more records. Hope you're all doing well out there. Cheers on a cold winter night. For you beer aficionados out there, I am having a Blackstone Brewing St. Charles Porter, local Nashville brew. It's nice. So, a couple months ago, out of the blue, I was contacted by reissued, who is the administrator of the Sun Ra estate, the Sun Ra LLC, once they finally worked out his estate. And they formed a label, and they're doing really nice reissues, but I'm going to get to that in a second. But I got this email from him, and he had stumbled upon my blog, my now defunct blog, wherein I used to do this series of posts called Sun Ra Sundays. And I think I've told this story before, but it was just, 10 years ago now. I was working in a law office as a paralegal, doing a lot of research and writing, and I liked that part, but I didn't like litigation per se. It's like something to do every day. I found it really, really stressful, and I found Sunday nights really depressing. The idea of facing Mondays, and Mondays could be really brutal because I think it was Motion Mondays, I think. Anyway, it was a long time ago. So Sundays could be really depressing, as folks who work for a living and then work for jobs they don't like. Sundays can be brutal, right? But I found that listening to Sun Ra's music cheered me up, and I had a lot of it. I was into it, but it was scattered over a bunch of, Evidence did a bunch of CDs, but they're like a mishmash of. It's a vast discography, and it's a mess, and it's still a mess. I feel confident that this reissued guy is he's already doing a great job of rectifying what was a bewildering mess up to just recently. Anyway, he discovered. So anyway, yes, I was listening to Sun Ra on Sundays, and I had this blog, and so I sort of posted, Sun Ra Sunday, and it started as a lark. Really, it was a lark, something to get me through a Sunday night. And so I started reviewing Sun Ra things as I was picking them up or listening to them, and then as it went on, it kind of became a thing, and I was into it. I put a shit ton of work into this over the years. And I was into it for a while. And, my very favorite period of Sun Ra's music is the choreographer's workshop period in the early 60s in New York, before he split for Philadelphia. Where he had this rent-free setup in the basement of the choreographer's workshop, and there was a halfway decent piano, and it was a dance studio, so there was a reasonable acoustic, and he had great musicians in the band, and Tommy Hunter he figured out how to create echo effects and reverb on this little 2-track reel-to-reel that they would record on. And there's just something really magical about those recordings. As recordings, as primitive as they are, they just have a really magical sound. And but they're scattered all over a bunch of albums, and the discographical information, even with Robert Campbell's historic, just Herculean effort to put together his 6-inch thick discography, is still lots of unknown things and errors, and it's still all being. So anyway, I started writing about it so I could figure out, okay, so this is the sort of order it happened in, and this is who's playing on it, and trying to just wrap my head around this particular period, the choreographer's workshop period. And then that just I just started going forward from there. And there's a post in there where I say, oh, well, I'm not going to go down the bootleg route, but here's this thing that Sam sent me. And oh my God, here's the thing. Sam Bird, the drummer, the guy who plays the drums on my things, he's the one who should be writing this stuff. He's the one who really knows this stuff. He's the librarian. He had all this stuff. He had all these CDRs and downloads of, the really rare Saturn stuff. And so he would send them to me, and bootlegs, and so, but it was the bootlegs that really kind of derailed it, and I could have shut it down at any time, but it quickly became a job, and I finally abandoned it. I'd said I would do it up to a certain point, and and then I abandoned my bog. I abandoned the blog, right after the election in 2016, because I was like, fuck it. If this is the world we're going to live in, I'm not going to spend any more effort on this thing anymore. I'm going to like get some synthesizers, and I'm going to just bliss out until the end of the world. Okay? That's that's where I'm at. Right. So, Erwin Chusett, out of the blue, contacts me and says, oh, hey, wow, your blog, Sunraw Sundays, blah, blah, blah. I want to do something with it. Now, it's like, oh, wow, that's really cool. And I knew who he was. So it was really flabbergasted, to be honest. Cheers, Erwin, if you're watching. Now, conveniently, Sam Bird had put together, once he realized that I was not going to do any more Sunrise Sundays and I was not going to blog anymore, he put together a PDF file for his own use. A PDF file of all my Sunrise Sundays, and he put it in discographical order, including all the album covers that I put on them and all the graphics I put on the blog. And he sent it to me. It's like 375 pages, something like that. I look at it and I go, I can't even believe I did this, all that work. So anyway, I said, oh, hey, well, my friend Sam had put this together, and I sent it to Erwin, and I'm like, you can do whatever you want with it. And so he actually had his assistant, I guess, put it back in blog post order and did some corrections and fixed some dead links, and he was like, oh, this is so amazing, and I want to send you some records that we've done, just whatever you want. And I was like, gosh, if you want to send me records, that's great, but you certainly don't have to. It's really an honor to have anyone care about this stuff that I did, and I'm happy for people to check it out. Even though there's a lot of incorrect information there that's come to light, that things have changed. But at the time, it was the best that I could do. So anyway, he sent me some records, and now after 7-minute prologue, I'm going to leave a link. It's now hosted on the sunraw.com website. I'm going to leave a link. Both Sam Bird's PDF with the graphics in discographical order, and Erwin Chusett's new version, corrected version, lightly edited version with a preface, and even one from Sam. I didn't even know he was going to do that. I'm really quite touched by it, honestly. Besides these records, I'm going to show you the whole thing that, Anyway, so I'm going to leave a link below. You can check it out, download it, share it freely, do whatever you want with it. Sam has actually made a Lulu book out of it. Maybe I should do that with it. I put a lot of work into it. So anyway, he sent me records, and so he's in charge of this, there's two labels who are now doing reissues of Sun Ra's music officially, best quality, sourced from the original tapes where possible. So there's two. There's one called Cosmic Myth. They've only done a few things, but they're fantastic. And then other things are being released on Modern Harmonic, which is a subsidiary of Sundazed. Everybody knows Sundazed. I tried to sort of ask about what the difference was, and he wouldn't say. Didn't know, maybe, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, he sent me all the Cosmic Myth things that they'd done up to that point. And now, finally, yes, after 9 minutes, I'm gonna show a record. Are you still there? Are you still there? Are you listening to me? I'm gonna leave a link below to the Bandcamp page too, where you can order these things. There's also lots and lots and lots of digital stuff, digital only stuff, that is just mind-blowingly great. I mean, I heard these horrible bootlegs for pirated CDRs. Just, I wish they could put all that stuff out on vinyl, and so does he. So if you go to the Bandcamp page, buy something. That's what I recommend. And now I'm going to show you some things that you can buy. You can buy them right now, and I recommend that you do, because especially these Cosmic Myth issues are high quality, first class all the way. Ready? Are you ready? I'm sorry. Here we go. Okay. The Magic City. Man. If they only did one record, this would probably be the one to do. And it's really, really special for a lot of reasons. Not just because it's a really important record in Sun Ra's discography. An early directed improvisation, long form, 27-minute long form directed improvisation on the first side, The Magic City. But they found a genuine stereo tape. Now, unfortunately, the last minute or something is edited for unknown reasons, obscure reasons. But they've included on the B-side that final 1 minute from the mono version. But having this in true stereo in the finest fidelity is just so great. And they did a fantastic job on this. And, if you only own one Sun Ra record, I recommend this one. Yeah, it's weird as hell, but isn't that what you want out of a Sun Ra record? I know that's what I want out of a Sun Ra record. And not just weird for weirdness sake. It's just great. It's just great. It's a super, super awesome job. And here's another big favorite Sun Ra record that they've done a fantastic job with. My Brother the Wind, Volume 1. Man, oh man, spread out over 2 LPs. This from, I think, 1970, 71, 69, 1970 is when it was recorded. Sun Ra was one of the first people to get a hold of a Moog Model D, or what became known as the Mini Moog. And I think he even had access to 2 for a while. And as you might expect, Sun Ra does really interesting things with the Moog, not your expected things. And so the Moog is all over this. And this is when the Moog was, the Mini Moog, and it was new. And just some fantastic stuff on this. It's just, and there's bonus materials, and the sound is as good as it can possibly be. The plating and pressing and mastering is as good as it can be. Nice, heavy gatefold cover. Not super duper expensive. Thank you for sending these to me. I mean, knowing what I know about them now, I would happily pay full retail for them. Highly, highly recommended. Now this is a true rarity, and in fact, this is from '79. I didn't get that far. I might have a really brutal sounding CDR someplace like this, but this is a really rare Saturn record that never got issued on CD or anything, and holy crap, it's awesome. God is More Than Love Can Ever Be from 1979. This is a straight up piano trio. But as only Sun Ra could do it. They're all original compositions, and he didn't do a lot of straight up. Out of all of his massive discography, it's amazing how few just sort of normal setup kind of records he made. There's very little just piano trio, very little small group jazz records that he made. And this is just, it's just beautiful. It's not super weird, although it's Sun Ra, but it's his take on piano trio jazz, and it's beautiful. Again, great sound, great pressing, great packaging. Highly, highly, highly recommended. This, especially if even if you have a lot of Sun Ra, you probably don't have this. You probably don't. Okay, so he also sent me some of the Modern Harmonic stuff. Now, it being affiliated with Sundazed, I assume that it's getting wider distribution, and it's got hype stickers and redone artwork and colored vinyl. And so he sent me Astro Black. Now, I spent many, many years looking for a decent copy of the original Astro Black, and finally found one at a record show. They did a really nice job on this, colored vinyl and all. Don't You don't have to pay massive amounts of money to have Sunrise Astro Black, and again, another one of the like great Sun Ra records, that just really holds up. This, of course, is later. This is from like 1970 something, 73. Yeah, 1973. Has a great June Tyson on it, so there's some great singing on it. So it has a different sort of vibe than maybe that earlier stuff. Fucking great. The colored vinyl is maybe a little noisy, but whatever. And he also sent me this. Crystal Spears. Now, this was a big discovery by Evidence, back when Evidence was putting out the Sun Ra stuff back in the 90s. Previously unreleased thing from 70-something. Yes, 70-something. Great. Way out there. Awesome. Thank you, Erwin. I can't believe you sent me all that. That's really super generous. And again, it just makes me feel good that all that work I did so long ago is being newly appreciated by people. I hope. He's passed it around on the Sun Ra mailing list and on Facebook, and I'm sharing it. Enjoy. There's a lot of information there. Like I said, maybe not all totally accurate up to the minute, but it's the best I could do at the time. So I was so inspired by this act of generosity that I went out and I had to get the other modern harmonic thing, the Symbols Sessions, a 2LP thing, which is other more 1973 wildness. What can I say? Great. This is some of my favorite Sun Ra. It's like, God, great John Gilmore saxophone, and it's weird and wonderful and electronic and space age, and just he's really at the height of his powers here, I think. And he's got a band that's willing to go the distance with him. This and Crystal Spears is a formidable combo. Highly, highly, highly recommended. I mean, I really can't criticize any of that stuff. Finally, just yesterday, came in the mail, the latest on Cosmic Myth. It's a big 3LP collection of monoreels and satellites, works for solo piano, volumes 1, 2, and 3. Now, like I was saying about God is More Than Love Can Ever Be, he didn't make a lot of solo piano records. In fact, as Erwin's notes, note that, once he left New York, he didn't have a piano. Pianos are big, expensive, hard to maintain. But in 1966 or something, he made 2 volumes that were released, and then they found, again, they're doing awesome discographical research. There's a 3rd volume that was never released before of more solo piano stuff. To me, it sounds like it's recorded at a different time in a different place. Whatever. It's again another one of those mysteries of the Sun Ra discography. Getting to hear Sun Ra play solo piano is a way into his musical thinking and how he structures not only his compositions but how he makes his band behave. He was famous for saying there's no freedom. There's no such thing as freedom. There's only discipline. This stuff is great, and again, excellent job with the mastering. Volume 2, they had to resort to a clean vinyl copy. It sounds awesome. And then having, again, in stereo, volume 3 is in stereo, true stereo. This is just a cornucopia of riches. I can't recommend this stuff highly enough, and I can't recommend going and checking out their Bandcamp page and at least listening. I have a hard time paying money for downloads. I really do. But I tell you what, I'm reminded of all the work I did, how much this stuff mattered to me for a while. I kind of want to just buy it all and replace my shitty sounding bootlegs and pirated things with the real deal, because they sound fantastic, as good as it's ever going to get. And with that, I'm going to shut up and say, once again, thank you, Erwin, for putting that out there and sending me these wonderful records and rekindling my love for Sun Ra, because, you know, it's pretty special stuff. I burned out on it there for a while, but yeah, I'm back. I don't know if I'm going to bring back my blog, but yeah, I'm back to caring about Sun Ra, and I look forward to more reissues from you guys. All right, thanks for hanging in there. This was kind of a long video, longer than maybe these handful of records were warranted, but I can't recommend these highly enough. Go check out the links. Check out Sun Ra Sunday PDF if you're interested. Yeah, enjoy. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.